For watching. This is a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By understanding how the program works, then you can use it to your advantage to increase the traffic to your site by getting on the first page so new customers can easily find you when they're searching. So I've got your website pulled up here, and the first problem I see is that it's not secure, meaning it doesn't have what's called an SSL certificate. That's a problem because some web browsers will actually give you this error message when they try to navigate to the site, and users won't understand that they have to click advanced and then another button to actually go to the website. They'll just hit back to safety and then they won't be able to see your site at all. Going through your site, I love that you have actual projects that you've done so that way it shows real work, not just stock file photos. Not really sure what's going on inside here with the font. It's kind of tough to read and it looks like we got some HTML in there that needs to get cleared up. As far as Google is concerned, though, it's going to rank your website based on two factors. The first is the content. So what it's going to do is it's going to come in and read and count all the words and text on the page. It's looking for usually a minimum of about 1,000 to 1,500 words because it assumes that the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are that's going to want to recommend. Now, while it's counting the words, it's also looking for keywords, which would be anything that somebody would type into Google search, which is usually going to be a service that you offer and then a location that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of these keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. Now, the second way that Google is going to rank your website is based on its authority, which is basically just a popularity contest. Now, there are two ways to build authority. The first is through getting what's called citations. These are any time that your name, address, and phone number appear in online directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. All these directories are usually free. It just takes some time to find them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. Now, the second way to build authority is through what's called backlinks. Now, that's when another website links or refers back to yours, and it basically acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because another website is vouching for you. It's similar concept to a customer review, whereas if you had 1,000 five-star customer reviews, when somebody looked at your business, they would think pretty highly of you. Google is doing the same thing, except it's using other websites to make this judgment. So to see how this determines where your website ranks, if we go back to our search, the first thing that pops up is called the Google Map Pack. This is actually a pretty important area to try to get into because statistically speaking, anywhere from 40 to 60% of people, if they don't have a specific contractor they're looking for, will just click one of these top three. Now, to be listed in here is free. You just need to fill out your Google Business profile, which is actually part of the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. And then when you're filling this out, you want to add as many of the fields as possible. So you want to do the services that you offer, the areas that you offer it in, even the hours of operation. Then you want to continuously add photos that are geotagged within your service area, upload those and post to your profile on a regular basis. And then you want to get as many of those citations, your name, address, and phone number. You want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. Then underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust Google has in your site, the higher up on the list that it's going to rank. So to demonstrate this, I put your website into this tool that I have. And what it does is it shows me all the things that Google finds when it crawls your site for both the content and the authority. Just to kind of define these terms, if the local news station did an article on the top 10 best contracting companies in Buffalo, and inside that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that would be considered one referring website or one referring domain. So to kind of put these numbers into perspective, what I've done is I've just taken the top organic listing in this list and put them into the same tool so you can see what kind of authority that their website is bringing and the reason why that they're ranking on top of yours on the first page while you're on the bottom of the second page. So something to keep in mind here is it's not just the quantity of these links, it's the quality that matters. It has to be relevant to your field. So for instance, if you had a pizza place linking back to your website, Google knows that you're in the construction business, you're not making pizzas. So even though that would add a number, it wouldn't actually add any strength to your site. So you'd want to find any kind of sites that are blog articles or news articles or listings or directories that are relevant to the construction industry and try to get included on those sites. Now, as for the content, If we click in here, we can see all the keywords and phrases that are being typed into Google search that are being found on your page, as well as the volume, the number of times per month that they're being searched. So for instance, general contractors, Buffalo, New York. That's what I put into search. There are 500 people searching for that a month. Right now, you're on position 14, like you saw, the bottom of the second page. If you were on page 1, 500 people will be seeing your website. We usually use a pretty conservative estimation here and say 10% of those people will actually convert and click into your website and give you a look and a call for potential business. So we've got 50 potential new clients. And then I don't know what the conversion rate is, but if we're even more conservative and say that only 10% of those actually become customers, you'd be getting 5 new customers every month just off of one keyword. Then we would do that same thing with some research and find all the highest volume keywords relative to your area and the location that you offer it in, and make sure that those are being included on your website. So that way, whenever anybody is searching for them, you're going to come up on the first page, so you'll be a click and a call. So I hope this information was helpful and allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you want me to go into any further details. We could also talk about your goals as a business, and I could do some research to find out what it would take for you to reach those. And I always love getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I hope this helps.